Okay, everybody, welcome back. I wanted to provide a quick video that just kind of walks through an all-on-4 case that we're in the middle of working on. So this is a printed model of the current case. You can see we have the temporary denture in place up here. Come a little bit closer there. That's the temporary denture, which we converted at the time of surgery. It's had some issues. It's needed to be repaired a couple of times. But generally it's been good. We are going to be working on her lower jaw here in the not too distant future. She's got some periodontally involved teeth and they all are in need of some TLC. There are a couple of implants down there, which is great. So the nice thing is we'll be able to reuse those. But I wanted to show you what we got back. So the last appointment we did a verification jig, and here's that jig that we verified. So essentially these are all implants that I placed, and this is kind of a unique, see if I can get that to focus. Kind of a unique situation because we had placed all the implants. They were GM Helix Neodent implants, and then she had some trauma to her face. So she was wearing a converted immediate denture, and the trauma caused all those implants to fail. So we had to remove them all. Most of them were loose from the trauma, but one of them I actually had to trephine out because there was some bone damage next to it. So we picked new sites. So all of these essentially were newly placed, and you can see they're a little bit closer in grouping than in an ideal world. But that's primarily because of all the bone loss that she'd had from the trauma at the posterior. We wanted to go ahead and get things moving forward. But about the 4-month mark, we went ahead and did the verification. So they sent each of these pieces independent of one another, and I just luted them together with composite, just flowable composite, since we had a bunch sitting there. And then I had them fabricate a long-term temporary PMMA. So a couple of things. Those teeth are very yellow. I'm not happy with the color of the teeth, the shade of the teeth. So I was going to pull up the lab script and see what we actually ordered. But those are pretty yellow. But this is a PMMA. It's printed. You've got the multi-unit abutment cylinders, the temp cylinders in there, I'm sorry. And then I've got a little box with the screws. So these screws are here. So the plan is when she comes back, we're going to try this in. If everything fits and functions and looks perfect and doesn't require any adjustment, then I'll communicate to the lab. It's perfect. We are going to go ahead and manufacture in zirconia. And at that point, they'll run with the ball, do some zirconia, and we'll hopefully get it back in a couple of weeks. But if it's not okay, then what we'll do is we'll adjust the occlusion. We'll get things squared away from the standpoint of the occlusion, get everything dialed in, and then I'll rescan this. They'll mate the current design with the adjusted design, and then they'll adjust it. And so she'll continue to wear this long-term prosthetic while we're waiting for the zirconia. And then when she comes back, we'll take this out, we'll put in the permanent, and off she goes. So it's been quite the adventure. These cases are a lot of fun, but for those of you who've done a handful or more of them, you know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort, but ultimately yields a great outcome if you follow the appropriate protocols and the patients are aware of the risks and pitfalls and of course benefits. So fun case. I'll hopefully post some pictures, some x-rays once we get everything delivered, and we'll go from there. Thanks. Bye.